So we're going to use local by Flywheel. You can see I already have it installed here, but to install it, you'd want to open up your browser. Okay, open up a new window. You'd want to open up your browser, and then I would just type in local by Flywheel. Flywheel is the company that makes it, and so you can see local WP. Click on that. It's going to bring you to the site. Flywheel is actually a hosting company or business, and basically they allow you to host your sites there. That's why they developed this software, because it allows you to basically make it locally on your computer, and then if you like it, you can upload it to their server, and then they will host it for you online. So it's actually worth it for them to develop this. So anyway, you can see it says new release. Click here for download the latest version. Go and click on that. You're going to choose Windows or Mac or whatever. Type in your business there, and then it's going to download it, and then you're just going to install it. Okay, but that's basically how you're going to get to it. Okay, once it's installed, it will look like this on your first opening, and what we're going to want to do is create a website. Huzzah! So you're going to click create a new site. So again, this is going to be local, meaning it's going to be on your computer. It's not going to be on the internet. There's a lot of reasons why that's an advantage, but we're going to do it here. So this way we don't have to pay anything. So I'm just going to call mine Cone Site. Okay, I'm going to click on the advanced options, and you can see this is what it's going to do. Now when I go to create this, it's going to have a conflict. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to browse. This is where it's going to save the site to. So I'm just going to back that thing up, and I'm just going to do, I'm going to make a new folder. So if you wanted to make a new folder and not have it be that local sites, you can make a new one if you want. I would just leave it there personally, but if you did want to, you can do that. So I'll just do new local sites. Okay, and I will select that folder. And so now it's going to go there. Yay, I'll hit continue. Preferred is fine, but if for some reason you need to change the settings, this is basically going to allow you to change your SQL and your PHP, but we're just going to go with preferred because they know best. Now for the username and password, this is what you're going to use in order to log into your site, right? So if you don't have this, like if you type something in here and then forget it, you're screwed. You're not going to be able to get into it again, okay? So make sure you do that. You could also over here actually do, I'll do jcone@cecil.edu. I'm not sure if this is going to work or not, but I know online, if you do that, what it'll do is it'll actually, if you do lose it or whatever, you can have it, this will be the administrative email, so you could have it like send, and then you can, send you an email to confirm and change it that way. But we'll go ahead and I'll put my actual email in there. It's not a multi-site. So just for now though, do VCP and VCP. That way for when you're turning it in, if I need to look at it, I know what the login is. So VCP, VCP, and then add site. It's going to go through this thing, and it's going to basically install all the software that you need in order to make this work. Because basically WordPress is a collection of a bunch of different machines basically working together. It's not like, so you might get this. Make sure you click on this if that pops up. Hopefully, why did it not? There it goes. And then go ahead and allow it to have access. And hit yes. Okay. Because it needs like administrative privileges in order to run on your site, because it's getting down to its nitty gritties. Anyhow, so it's going to install WordPress. It's going to install PHP and the database and all that other stuff that it needs in order for it to work correctly. Yeah, but I don't want to pause my video because every time I've been doing that, it's been crashing. So it will continue to add the WordPress site, and then when it's done, you will have a thing to work with. Just got to give it a moment. There we go. Okay. So now the site is created, and you can have multiple sites. You can see it's currently active, see a little green dot, but we can stop it by clicking on that, or you go up here and stop site. You're going to want to do that later on, but for now, obviously leave it on, right? So if you click on View Site, what it's going to do is it's going to pop up, and it's going to show you what your site is, right? So, but notice that it's site.local, which means it's on your computer. It's not actually anywhere else. All right. Now, this is what it's looking like right at the moment. This is what it looks like right at the moment. We haven't changed anything, but I can't change anything in here either. The other thing you'll notice is admin. If you click on admin, it's going to open up the login part. And so it's just VCP and then VCP. Remember me, log in, and then it might ask you to memorize it. I would just go ahead and have it do that. And now we are in the dashboard, so we can actually change some of the things here on our site. So we're going to need to do all sorts of things. What I want to do is be able to kind of preview what we're working with. But probably the first most important thing you're going to want to do that's going to probably have the most effect on your site, at least from a visual standpoint, is going to be the theme. Okay. So on the left here, you can see there's all these different options, right? So these are just like different areas, rooms, if you will, that will control different parts of your site. Okay. So the dashboard is basically just news and updates to your site. So if you install something, you'll be like, this was just installed. Or if someone is on here, or someone makes a comment, or there's a blog, or news, that sort of stuff. Honestly, not super duper useful. I don't really use this at all. But here it is, right? So posts is used to create blog posts. So you can have categories of posts and stuff. So you're probably somewhat familiar with blog posts. Right now, actually, if you look, these are kind of like a blog post page. So that's what that's for. Media is basically just the library of all of the media that you've uploaded. So anything you've uploaded to the site, if you upload it to the site, it will be stored in this. It's basically just a folder for the most part. It's probably going to be images. It might be videos. It could be other media. Like if you have, like on my site, I have it that if you click certain links, you can download like a WordPress, a Microsoft Word document that's like the project cover sheet for my one class. I have other ones where you can download like 3D files. But basically the media is just, it's a folder that holds anything that you've uploaded, that you had on your computer, and you're like, oh, I want to put this in my site. That's where it's going to go. Pages are the pages of your site. Literally what the name suggests is just all the pages that you make that can be viewed or not viewed. You can make pages and not have them available to the public, but they're all going to exist in there. We're going to be doing most of our work in here. Comments are just comments that people make onto your blogs. You can see them here. You honestly don't really use that either. These days, I mean, I don't know how popular blogs are, but obviously social media is a big thing, so maybe that would be something that would be important. Appearance does what the name suggests. It's where you're going to install your themes. It's where you're going to customize your themes. You're going to add little functionality things and stuff. You'll control the menus in here. All sorts of stuff, right? Plugins, what plugins do is where themes are more of a visual thing. Themes will also have functional things that they can do as well, but they're mostly about the look of it. Plugins will add functionality. Generally, they add one of two types of functionality. They're either going to add something onto the site that it couldn't do before. So, for instance, I have a plugin on my site where it allows me to embed 3D models that the user can rotate around, right? I have another plugin that lets me have video games in a window inside of my web browser. I have another plugin that just does slideshows, right? So it just has a nice slideshow. There's plugins that do calculators. There's all sorts of them. I mean, but basically it adds functionality that the user can usually interact with. Something on the front end, we would call that. But there's also plugins that the developer might use that's on the back end that just make it easier to develop the site. So it might be something which we're going to do a couple of these, but by default, you can make a new page. But let's say you want to, when we make pages manually, we usually just copy the page that we already made and then duplicate it to make the next page and then just change it. You can't do that in WordPress by default. So there's a plugin that lets you just duplicate pages that you've made, right? Seems like a simple thing, but super handy. There's other plugins. We're going to use another one that basically just helps you lay out the site. It lets you put the content in there in a very easy way. But so generally you do one of the two things: either add functionality, or they make it easier on your end. There's plugins. I had one that like it keeps track of how many visitors I have. It shows me that. Obviously the user doesn't see it, but I see it. So it's just that's generally what the plugins do. If there's something you want your site to do and it's not already doing it, there's probably a plugin out there that can. Okay. Users controls the people that can access your this area, the dashboard, this whole thing here. So typically, if you are a web designer, right, you're going to create this web page. You'll build this whole structure. You'll add all the images. You make it look pretty, and you'll hand it off to the client. But what you don't want to have to do is that every time the client has like a new, let's say it's a restaurant, right, and she's making a new dish, and she's like, oh, I got this new dish. You don't want to have to, every time they have a new dish, that you have to make it on there, right? So like maybe you have a page and the page is their menu. If every time they do a change to the menu, they bring it to you and you got to put the picture in, you got to whatever, it's going to be kind of annoying. So what you can do is that you can add a user, add the client as a user, but only give them certain privileges. So they can update like a specific page, or they can do these things, but they're not allowed to do these things. That's where you control that. We're not really going to have to deal with that too much, but that's what that's there for. Tools, you can kind of see what they are to import, export. I've honestly have never had very good luck with any of these, so we're not going to play with that at all anyway. And settings are the settings. Not too much with this. Mostly it's like, what is the default way that you want to write time, or, you know, what's the home page, or what's that kind of stuff. It's not super, honestly, useful. So anyway, those are all of our sections. So let's go ahead and we're going to do our theme. So go to appearance. If you just click on appearance, it's by default whatever item you go on, it by default it goes to the first thing. So in this case it's the themes. So what you're going to notice is that there are basically these 3 themes installed. Right now, this is the one that's active. This is the one that's currently active. But it'll give you whatever the current year says, 2020, 2019, 2017. Apparently it's got 2018. Basically these are the default themes, right? So you can see this one's not active, but they are installed. So if you wanted to use them, you could use these ones instead. But obviously these are no bueno. You don't want to use these because they're just bad. Anyway, so what we're going to do is you click on Add New, and it's going to allow you to install a new one. Now you can see by default it has this featured, and so you can see these are the ones that they're trying to push, okay? Which is great. They have a section you can go popular, right? You can search for a specific theme, the latest and favorites, and you can choose like different features. Like I want to have a blog section and a custom header and have a grid layout or blah, 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 right? And you apply those filters and it will find them for you, okay? Now the problem is that some of these are free and some of them are not free. Some of them, what they do is they have some that are semi-free, or so what it'll do is it'll have a free version, but then you can pay more and get like a it adds more functionality. Okay, that's basically the idea of it. Okay, yeah. But what I would suggest, instead of trying to do it this way, because this is just hard, I would go to just whatever your favorite search is and just do like free WordPress themes for like graphic designers, right? Graphic design portfolios even, okay? And then you can scroll down here and see 25 best free portfolio themes and templates 2020. You could just go through these and see if you can find something. It's better than what they're trying, they have an agenda. And find one that you like and be like, oh, this one looks great, and and go whatever makes sense, right? And be like, okay, I like this one. Now, they will let you download them from here, and you can actually upload them. But if it has the name here, you can probably just search for it here. Sometimes there are themes that are not here that you can even find. And so you might have to download, those. But yeah, it's kind of up to you. Just find what you're looking for here. So I'm just going to go ahead and go with this Shapely child, or the Shapely one here. So we're just going to go ahead and install. You're going to see it's installing. And when it says installing, what it's actually doing is just downloading it. So now it's in my themes folder of my WordPress site. You see it's not active though. I click activate here, you should just click it right away, or if you go back to themes, you'll see that now that's just one of the options, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and click active here, or activate, and now that one's active. And just to show you this as well, so if you're trying to find, like, let's say, oh, I have my site, and you can see the path here. But if you right click, you can go to show folder, and it will actually open up the folder that your site is in. So there's local sites, and then you can see app config logs, right? So we go to app, public, and then you'll see WP admin, content includes, go to content, and you'll see where it says themes. And then you'll see 2019, 2017, 2020, and then there's Shapely. So what it did is it downloaded all the pages of it, if you will, all the PHP documents and all that stuff that it needs for the theme. It actually just downloaded it there, okay? Here we go. Okay, so now I have this one active. Yay! Let's click back on this tab. I'm just going to preview it, and you're going to see it's going to look like this. Doesn't look that great. So I'm going to keep trying to preview it here, but we're going to run into a couple of problems. What I want to do is just make kind of a default page that I can kind of see what I'm doing, and then go from there. Okay, so because obviously this doesn't look quite what I was hoping for. So let's make a page, and then after that we can kind of work from there. Okay, so I've got that. Now I'm going to go to my pages, and we're going to make a page. So we have this privacy policy page. I don't need that. Let's trash that. And what we're going to do is just add new. And we'll just go ahead, and I'm just going to call it home page because that's what I want it to be. And then, I thought I had a lorem ipsum. Maybe I didn't. Okay, so let's type in lipsum.com. And I just want to generate some lorem ipsum here so that I have some. All right, I'll share it with you. I got plenty to spare. So I'm just going to copy that. Just put in dummy text for now. And we will paste it in there. Good. Okay. And then I'm just going to go ahead. Oh, and go back to document section here. And you'll see page attributes, and it says default template. Just do full width, because default template is this. It shows this thing on the section. Full width will take this part and drag it all the way across. We want full width, so just do full width, and then publish, and publish, and great. Now, if I go to preview this, you're going to see it looks exactly the same. And the reason why is this. It's not, I'm going to click back on this WordPress section. Just so you notice, like, I'm just looking, this is the site, and then this is the inside of it, the admin window. The reason why is, I still don't want you. Get out of here. Sound like my father. All right, so here we go. I got that. We're going to go down to, the reason why is this. Go to settings, and then go to reading. And you'll see right now the homepage display is your latest post, which is actually not what we want. So you can actually tell it's a post, right? It says blog, and it says hello world, and it gives you a default hello world post because that's what the world does. But we want to do a static page, and we're just going to go ahead and choose that home page we made. All right? And I'm not going to worry about the post page because I don't care. And then we'll just save changes. And now when I go to preview this, boom, it's going to show that home page. All right, so there we go. That's looking like a thing that happened. All right, not too bad. Okay, so now we got that kind of set up. That's a little bit better. We will call that good. While we're in here, why don't we just adjust some more settings on the settings end? So we'll go to General, and then this is the site name. So if you look, you see how on top on the tab says Cone Site, just another WordPress. That's where it's getting it from. So my name on my site, I might have called Cone Site, but I would like it to be something, better. So I'm just going to do Cone's Awesome Site, and I'm going to have the tagline, because it said it's just another WordPress site, and goes, just another awesome WordPress site. URL and all that doesn't matter, blah, 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 blah. You could, obviously we're United States English, at least for myself. The time zone, I don't know what my time zone is. I'm going to leave that alone for now. How things are formatted. The rest of it's fine. I'm just going to hit Save Changes. And now if I go over here and preview, you will see now it says Cone's Awesome Site. And it's just another, just another Monday or whatever it says. Okay. Let's see. I don't think writing I need to do anything with. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think the rest of it doesn't really matter so much. So just while we were in settings, I was going to do that. Okay. The next thing I want to do is go back to appearance. And I want to just do general settings that the theme has available. All right. So basically every theme will have these options that you can change about them. And so that's what I want to do. All right. It's more of a kind of a global fixing thing. Okay, it's still recording. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go to, I could be here. I was just going to show you one thing too. So you see how I'm in here. Notice that now there's this black bar up here. This only shows up if you're logged into as admin, okay? So I can actually get right to the dashboard from here, okay? And I can get right to customize up here as well. So if I click on customize, it's going to go to the thing we're going to go to. It'll be the same thing. Or I can click on edit page and it will go right to this page, just like when we go to pages and I click on the page, it's the same thing. So I'll just show you. Like if I go pages and then I click on this page, that's, oops, I don't need you anymore. That's what this is. And I can make a new page, right? So it gives me some settings. This is going to be all the settings, but it gives me very top end, top level, front end. There we go. Settings. Okay. But what I'm going to do is just go to appearance and we're just going to click on customize. It's going to be the same thing as what you just saw, but it's the same thing as clicking, like I said, on that. Okay. So now what it does is going to show me my page, and that's acceptable. And now what I'm going to do is you can see right now it's using Shapely theme, which is fine. And this is all acceptable. So you can import demo content. That's cool. I don't really need any of that. So, all right. So now you'll see we have all these settings here. And all I'm going to do is just go down the line. And depending on your theme, you will have more things. You might have less things. You might have different things. What I want you to do is to basically just go right through them and just see what you think they should be. So site identity, I could choose a site logo. So I'm going to click on that. And then it's going to bring me right to my media. Now I could, remember before I showed you the media and then it said library, you can upload files there all day long. You can upload them there ahead of time and then they will show up here afterwards. Currently I don't have anything. So I'm just going to click on select files and I am going to choose, I think I have a picture. Here we go. So this will be my logo. It's going to be this guy. I'll hit select. I want the whole thing. I don't really want to crop the image. I'll skip cropping. There we go. Yay! Okay, so that will be my size. Oh, it's kind of big. Let's do 150. Will that actually make it smaller? Great, it did. Okay. Obviously, it should be to the scale you want. Don't do it manually like I'm doing. So site title, you can see I can do it right here. I did it in the other thing, but it had this as an option too. Good. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I'm going to hit the back arrow. So we're customizing. Okay, so let's go ahead and do main options. So text for footer callout. The title of the call to action section of the footer. I guess that would be this part here. Let's see, footer. Okay, I don't really care about that, so I'm just going to take that back out because I don't really want that. The label of the call to action section from the footer. So that's going to be a button, I think, right here. Maybe. Yeah. I don't really care. So they have transparent header, so I could turn that on, and I think that will, yeah, it'll remove that. So if I didn't want that top section, it will add it or not add it. So that's kind of, oh, that stuff didn't come back. All right. And they have sticky header, so that just means when I scroll down, see how it pops up. That's kind of cool. But I could also turn that off. So those are just options. That's what this theme. Your theme probably won't have that unless you have this theme. So you don't really know. And then they have colors. So the heading text color, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to make it just slightly off black. Background color, so that's this white. And I'm just going to make it a little bit gray. mid-gray. Good. And then default used if no color is selected for link color is currently purple. So I don't like that. Let's do this orange. And I'm just going to do orange for all of it. Oh, hover color. Let's go orange, and then let's just do a little bit darker when you hover. And then button, if no color is selected. Oops, come on. And do the same thing, kind of, and pull this down. Good. Okay. So boom. So I got those. That's the colors, which doesn't really, but you can see like right here, right? See, that's working. Good. There's also this option down here. So if you want to see it, like if it was on a mobile device, it gives me an idea what it looks like on a mobile device at different sizes. So not great. This is not a theme specific thing. This theme obviously is not all that responsive. So I go to theme options. I'm not going to care about block settings. If I want to use a background image for my thing, I could put a background image. This apparently has that. I can adjust more with the footer. I don't really care about that. The menu I probably do. We don't have a menu yet, so I will come back to that. Widgets. I'm not going to add any widgets to this. And homepage settings. So this one has it here, but obviously I already did it. And then additional CSS. This will allow me to add CSS to this. If I want to add something, but I'm not going to do that either. Okay, so there weren't a ton of settings, and that's because this is not like, I think that this is I don't want to say it's a demo version, but it's like a light version. I think they have like a full-blown version that you can pay for, which is probably what's going to happen when you go to do yours. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and publish this so that it keeps my settings, and then I'll exit out of that, and that should be good for that so far. And then let's do, yeah, we're going to call that good on this video. And then I'm going to start another video, and then we'll go through and we're going to customize this homepage a little bit. But we have most of the basic stuff that we need to start with.